Welcome to Professor Diaries Presents The Biology of Aging. Why do we grow old? Aging is not just a matter of years. It's a story written into our very cells. Every line on our face has a root in biochemistry. And every stiff joint carries a whisper from our mitochondria. But what if we could decode this story? What if we could understand why we age, and possibly how to slow it down? Today we enter the biological core of aging. It's a journey from the cell nucleus to the soul, from the damage in our DNA to the decay in our destiny. Welcome to the biology of aging, where science, spirituality, and consciousness intersect. Aging begins long before we notice it, sometimes in our 30s and, sometimes even earlier. And it starts with the tiniest units of life, cells. Inside each cell is a nucleus. Inside that, a tightly wound molecule called DNA. This is the master code that tells your body how to function. But with time, this code starts to fray. Each time a cell divides, it copies its DNA. But no copying system is perfect. Mistakes accumulate. These mistakes are called mutations. One major reason behind aging is this: a gradual accumulation of genetic damage. The body has a self-repair mechanism, but with age, this repair system slows down. Think of it like a library where books keep falling apart, and the librarian is too tired to fix them. Over time, this leads to errors in cell function. Muscles weaken, immune responses slow, the skin loses elasticity, and memory begins to fade. But that's not all. There's another actor in this play. One that sits at the end of our DNA strands: telomeres. Telomeres are like the plastic tips at the end of shoelaces. They protect the DNA from unraveling. Every time a cell divides, telomeres shorten, and when they get too short, the cell dies or malfunctions. This is called cellular senescence, and it is a key driver of aging. Short telomeres mean short life. Modern science now studies telomerase, an enzyme that rebuilds telomeres. If controlled, it could be a key to longevity, but if misused, it can cause cancer. Nature balances life through delicate tensions. And, aging is that balancing act in action. But genetics is just one piece of the puzzle. Let's talk about the powerhouses of the cell. Mitochondria. They convert food into energy. Every breath you take, every step you walk is fueled by mitochondrial energy. But mitochondria also age. With time, they become less efficient. They start producing more waste than energy. This waste is called free radicals. So free radicals damage cells. They attack membranes, proteins, and even DNA. This is called oxidative stress, and honestly, it is one of the biggest drivers of aging. Antioxidants help neutralize free radicals. That's why foods like berries, tulsi, and turmeric are just so powerful. Ancient Ayurveda knew this long ago. It prescribed rasayana therapies, rejuvenation techniques using herbs, fasting, and breathwork. Science is only now catching up. But why does the body allow this decline? Why does it not just keep renewing forever? In youth, we have plenty of stem cells, but as we age, they decrease in number and power. Our ability to repair declines. Wounds take longer to heal. Organs lose function. Aging becomes visible. Stem cell therapies are now emerging globally, from Japan to Germany, from India to the United States, but the ethical and biological risks remain. We are only beginning to understand the language of cellular regeneration. So aging is multifactorial: genetic damage, telomere shortening, mitochondrial decline, oxidative stress, stem cell depletion. But beyond biology, there is behavior. Poor diet, lack of sleep, stress, toxins, inactivity. These accelerate aging far more than time itself. You know, a 40-year-old with mindful habits may actually be biologically younger than, say, a 25-year-old who's constantly under stress and, well, overloaded with sugar. Aging, it's really not just about the time that's passed. It's also honestly about time that's been misused. Even our thoughts, believe it or not, affect aging. Negative thinking releases stress hormones, and chronic cortisol can actually damage our cells. Whereas, on the other hand, meditation, gratitude, and laughter release healing neurochemicals. You are not just what you eat. You are what you believe. You are what you think, breathe, and feel. Quantum science now suggests that biology responds to consciousness. Your mind can signal cells to repair, regrow, and rejuvenate. This is not magic. It is bioinformational physics. And our breath is the bridge. In Swar Vigyan, the Vedic science of breath, the right and left nostrils control different brain hemispheres. Balanced breathing repairs the nervous system. And when the breath is stable, so is cellular signaling. Modern science calls this coherence. Ancient India called it prana shodhana. We are returning full circle. To age gracefully is to align biology with consciousness, to eat mindfully, to breathe rhythmically, to think positively, to live on purpose. You may not control the clock, but you can control how you walk through time. This is the true biology of aging. So if this transformed your thinking, comment "I choose biological freedom" below. Share this video with a friend, student, or doctor. Like to support this series. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to Professor Diaries for more. You can also watch more at youtube.com/@profsing2025. Support the mission, a fusion of AI, spiritual consciousness, and soul technology. Just tap the shopping bag icon to support. Join the Telegram Inner Circle for premium insights. And coming soon, Ageless Wisdom Digital Course, Professor Diaries, Redefining Education for the Future. Episode 3, Part 2, The Biology of Aging. Why do we grow old? Professor Diaries presents a fusion of AI, Vedic wisdom, and quantum biology. Aging is not just about cells breaking down. It's about systems losing symphony. It's the silent collapse of biological harmony. In this part, we explore the systemic breakdown behind aging. Not just cells, but immunity, hormones, glands, guts, and even time itself. Welcome to Part 2 of the Biology of Aging. Now let's explore the deeper layers of why we grow old. Let's begin with the immune system, our internal army. When we are young, immunity is sharp, swift, and strong. It detects and destroys threats instantly. But with age, this system slows. White blood cells decrease, antibody response fades, and well, we become more vulnerable to infections, inflammation, and autoimmune disorders. This decline is called immunosenescence. It's why older people catch flu more often, and why chronic inflammation persists. In fact, scientists now use a term called inflammaging. It means low-grade chronic inflammation that speeds up aging.